Hello everyone. Greetings. This is a presentation on the financial gains that a foundry secures from SoftCAST. It is based on a field study of 10 castings across 4 IC units, supplemented by a theoretical study of a typical IC situation. This document draws its material from the presentation developed by SoftCAST Technologies for use by the Investment Casting Institute, who holds the copyright. It was presented at the October 2020 virtual conference of the ICI. The material is used here with permission from ICI, USA. We acknowledge the same with thanks. As is well known, the most crucial functional area in a foundry is methoding, which directly drives casting quality, production cost and productivity. The SoftCAST system therefore goes beyond simulation and incorporates method design systems. SoftCAST thus aims at providing solutions to the casting production situation. This results in cost savings to the foundry, by way of reduction and elimination of shop trials, defect prevention and quality improvement, and yield improvement and optimization. When considered from a viewpoint of additional saleable output, that could result from enhanced production made possible by yield and quality improvement, the financial gains are huge. The financial benefits from SoftCAST are estimated and validated through 2 approaches. Firstly, by a field study of 10 casting projects across 4 foundries. And secondly, by a theoretical study using computation programs that estimate the savings or gains an IC foundry would derive through improvements in quality, yield and shop trial reductions, with SoftCAST. We start with the field study. 3 case studies, of new product development, quality improvement, and yield improvement, were each taken up at 3 foundries in India, whereas 1 overseas foundry participated in a new product development exercise. At the overseas foundry, a CY40 nickel alloy casting was developed using SoftCAST. The best method, from amongst the 4 that were proposed after casting simulation, was implemented. With no shop trials, all castings produced were 100% defect-free. This yielded a savings of over €15,000. This one project saving itself justified the purchase of SoftCAST. The second foundry in this study, called Foundry B, provided data on 3 casting projects, a 14.6 kg WCB casting new product development project, a 4.6 kg CF8 stainless steel casting quality improvement project, and a 18 kg CF8M stainless steel casting yield improvement project. A summary of the key findings from these 3 casting projects is provided here. The summary table shows the considerable savings that this foundry derived from the overall improvements that resulted through the use of SoftCAST. These figures are based on the foundry's operating parameters, averaged across its annual production. The benefits secured by this foundry were, nil or reduced number of shop trials, quality improvement, and yield improvement. Whereas the one-off cost savings in energy and consumables in the first casting at this foundry, resulting from elimination of a shop trial, was about $126, the 2 quality improvement and yield improvement projects together resulted in an annual savings of about $2,800. These computations exclude savings from lesser raw material usage and burning loss. The third foundry in this study, called Foundry C, provided data on 3 casting projects, a 4.3 kg CF8M stainless steel casting new product development project, a 1.4 kg WCB casting quality improvement project, and a 10.7 kg WCB casting yield improvement project. A summary of the key findings from these 3 casting projects is provided here. The summary table shows the considerable savings that this foundry derived from the overall improvements that resulted through the use of SoftCAST. These figures are based on the foundry's operating parameters, averaged across its annual production. The benefits secured by this foundry were, nil or reduced number of shop trials, quality improvement, and yield improvement. The one-off cost savings in energy and consumables in the first casting at this foundry, resulting from elimination of a shop trial, was about $76. The two quality improvement and yield improvement projects resulted in an annual savings of about $2,000. These computations exclude savings from lesser raw material usage and burning loss. The fourth foundry in this study, called Foundry D, provided data on 3 WCB casting projects, a 8 kg casting new product development project, a 13.9 kg casting quality improvement project, and a 3.6 kg casting yield improvement project. A summary of the key findings from these 3 casting projects is provided here. The summary table shows the considerable savings that this foundry derived from the overall improvements that resulted through the use of SoftCAST. These figures are based on the foundry's operating parameters, averaged across its annual production. The benefits secured by this foundry, by using SoftCAST were, nil or reduced number of shop trials, quality and yield improvement. Whereas the one-off cost savings in energy and consumables in the first casting at this foundry, resulting from elimination of a shop trial, was about $93, the two quality improvement and yield improvement projects resulted in an annual savings of $1,100. These computations exclude savings from lesser raw material usage and burning loss. Apart from the preceding 10 casting projects that were used as specific case studies, the owners of the 3 Indian foundries were asked to assess their overall experience of using SoftCAST over the entire period since purchase, and specifically with regard to the improvements and financial savings or gains secured. The estimated savings or benefits are derived from a comparison of 2 scenarios, before SoftCAST and with SoftCAST. The assessments at each of these 3 foundries were made by the corresponding managing director or owner of the unit. Their cumulative experiences are summed up as follows. A. Average improvement in shop trials, that is reduction in number of trials, ranged from 57% to 78%. B. Average improvement in quality, that is reduction in as-cast defectives, ranged from 50% to 67%. C. Average improvement in methoding yield ranged from 9% to 15%. Further, they assessed their overall monthly savings, averaged across all improvement types and over the entire production for the period, at $8,000 to $14,000. Whereas 2 foundries got the maximum benefit from yield improvement, one derived the most benefit from reduction in shop trials. This second study is a theoretical computation of the financial savings or gains that an IC foundry would secure through SoftCAST. 2 scenarios of quality and yield are considered in these computations, before SoftCAST and with SoftCAST. The improvements considered are as follows. In yield, from 1%, worst case, to 5%, best case. In quality, reduction of defective level from 50%, worst case, to 90%, best case. In reduction of number of shop trials, from 1, worst case, to 4, best case. Note that in reality, improvements could be more than the minimum levels considered here. This theoretical study is of an IC unit producing 20 TPM. A typical 5 kg casting is considered, with an existing yield of 35%, defectives of 4.5%, and 4 shop trials before method finalization. The financial gains for such an IC unit, even at a low production level of 20 TPM, are considerable. Looking at it from an input cost reduction viewpoint, the monthly savings range from around 63,000 rupees, that is, $900, in the worst case, to around 230,000 rupees, that is, $3,300, in the best case. On the other hand, considering the financial gains derived through higher saleable output, the monthly gains range from a substantial amount of 175,000 rupees, that is, $2,500, in the worst case, to a huge upside of 730,000 rupees, that is, $10,500, in the best case. The considerable financial and other gains that these 4 IC units have secured in real terms through SoftCAST indicate that the use of SoftCAST would be one way of improving the business situation in foundries. The theoretical study based on a computation program on the inputs and outputs, and corresponding costs and benefits, backs this conclusion. Assuming that difficult economic and operational situations could keep coming up, foundries would be well advised to look into ways and means of reducing costs while meeting customer requirements. The SoftCAST simulation and methoding system would greatly contribute in these endeavors. As stated at the start, this document draws material from the presentation developed by us, for use by the Investment Casting Institute, who holds the copyright. It was presented at the October 2020 virtual conference of the ICI. The material is used here with permission from the ICI, USA. Thank you for your time and attention. We would be happy to provide any more information needed.